I'm saving the material study for Orbit of Lua because that's going to be worth a whole lot more there. Upper Apsis 26. Oh, getting toasty. Well, the heating effect should be minimal. We're getting into thin atmosphere now, so. Upper Apsis 47. 50, 60k. There's a tiny bit of fuel left in this stage. I don't think I'll get us to orbit, but I'll get us close. Periaps is up to minus 175, that's not too bad at all. Once we get into space, we'll deploy the bays and then we'll start collecting science. Two minutes 22 Apo, so we've got plenty of time yet. $46, $47, almost in space. And that'll do. So deploy primary base, that gives us solar panels so we get some charge. And I want to pin the experiment storage unit. Collect all. Now I can do another crew report. We can do an EVA report as well. Oh, okay, that side's the door. You learn something new every day. Back in. Collect that. Time to Apo, 59 seconds. Just enough time. Get ourselves lined up. Burn the last of this stage out. Put ourselves in orbit, which in itself is a start. You know, this is the first Kerbal in space and we're going straight for the moon. Ambitious and nothing else. EVA report? Oh, EVA report's gone. Roads Midlands. One more? Sure, why not? Oh, I just got that one. Let's go. Hey, well, you know, we did make orbit off that. 58 by 51. $60 by 57. Is that an EVA report that's actually any use to us? Road Sandy Lowlands. Road's Great Rift, that's one we haven't got before. Right, let's see if we can get this thing somewhere near Lua. Lua's over there, we probably want to burn about here. I'm only going for orbit, so we're not going to make it. we're not going to make it. That's 572 meters a second. We've got 500 left in this. And that's just to get there. Oh well. Never mind. I don't need the science. Go away. Oh, that's not good. Alright, you're going to come back. I thought for a minute KSP crashed on us. What I was looking for was a contract configurator. See if there's anything. That we can pick up. See that one? That's the one that's contract plus. There we go. Do we have anything that's manned orbit of road? No, we don't. Okay, never mind. We'll still get experience with Jeb if nothing else. So given this is not going to make it to Lua, we're probably about 600-700 delta V short. We will just bring this back home, call it an orbital mission and be done with it. If I were to tweak the timing of this, can we get it any closer? Because if I can get this somewhere near Lua... No, I can't. No, the best we can do is about there, which is about halfway out. There's no point burning out to that point, there really isn't. So we'll take material study while we're out here. We will collect all the experiments. Yeah, we can go into an EVA and go and pick everything up. And apparently fly upside down because that's far more convenient. Take all the data out of there. Reboard that. We can put ourselves retrograde and bring ourselves back home. I mean, it wasn't the mission we wanted, but it's, you know, partial success. That's prograde, by the way. We made manned orbit. Just not going to make it to Lua orbit. So periapsis is back to about 20k, 25k, something like that. Retract primary base. Crew report, keep. Tempus scan on in space. Oh, good job, absolutely tattoo, good job, a star. That's what I was thinking about, get that temperature scan, nothing else. It's worth an extra 1.4 science. Can we actually reach that? No, we can't. Big data. Whoa! I did not want to do that. What the hell happened there? I just managed to disassemble it. Did I just lose all my science? Seriously? I did, I just lost all my science. Fan-smegantastic. That was definitely a mistake, yes. Oh well. We'll get some of this back. I think that was technically my fault, it was a misclick. Yeah, you can't really blame KSP. There's a disassemble button, which I think is part of the construction mod. Because I haven't got 111 on here, so it's not really disassembling parts from anything else. It was just me misclicking. Yeah, no, that's one of mine. Unfortunate rather than, you know, deliberate, but it's a shame we can't reset that. I don't think there's anything else to do. That gets us nothing. We've got the temperature scan. Yeah, that's us. The only thing we really lost was a couple of temperature scans on the way up and the materials bay. We'll do it again. We'll do it again sometime. Possibly Tatty, I'll have a look. I'll also make sure not to click it again if nothing else. Don't give me EVA reports. I mean, I appreciate the science, but I'm trying to come home. Okay, periapsis 57. Let's fire that engine up one last time. Bring it down to 22. At least we're not littering now. Not that stage. I wonder if I can land this. I wonder if we can land it with everything intact. I mean, our orbital velocity is so low we shouldn't have any heating issues. We might be able to bring it all home. Do a powered landing. It might fall over, but we can try it. And we've got a parachute to help as well. Ah, let's see what happens. Save us some money if we're going to lose the science. Ian Brown, thank you very much for the follow. Good to see you. I haven't heard from you, my friend, in a very long time. How you doing? Had a very weird year, haven't we all? Yeah. And QCat, thank you for the cheer as well, 50 bits. Much appreciated. Right, Saturn orbital retrograde, this should come home. fairly gently with a bit of luck. Did something happen this year? It seemed like a perfect normal 2020 to be, Tatty. I don't know what it could be. Come on, stay retrograde. Oh, that's right! I forgot about that. Yes, you had the massive smash, didn't you? I'm glad you're okay, Ian. I know it was a bit of a traumatic thing at the time, but what I remember you said it was yeah, the car wasn't great, but you were intact, which is the important bit. Yeah, for all that Skodas used to take a bad name way back, they're pretty solid bits of kit now. And you know, it kept you intact, which is the important bit. Which I'm very glad to hear. So yes, it's been a fun year 2020, hasn't it? But we all made it in one piece. Just about. I know for some of us it's been an even tougher year than that when it comes to everybody getting through it, and for those of you that have people who haven't, I am deeply, deeply sorry, but it's the end of 2020 almost. We're almost there. 2021's gonna be better, right? It'll be better. To top it off, the thing that hit you is the same truck you drive in Euro Truck Simulator. Oh, okay, now I approve the irony. That's quite something. Only 2020 could do that. Okay, parachute safe to deploy. We are 10 kilometers above the ground. And engines are activated, parachutes away. Let's see what our speed drops to, and then we'll powered landing the rest of it and see if we can bring it down to something safe. Although it's going to be something safe in the dark, which never helps. Down to 3 kilometers above ground. Shoots out. What's our speed going to drop to? 9 meters a second. Okay, we can kill the last bit of that with the powered landing. And hopefully bring all this home intact. Cat feed time, Tazzy? Fair enough. And you can't let the muggies go hungry. Take a fuel on this. There we go. Brought the whole lot back. For what it's worth. Can we roll it over and get an EV8? We can. Road Sandy Lowlands. Which we've already got because that's what's around KSP as well. Around KSC rather. Oh well. No more science to be done. Let's bring that back home. Hey, we made orbit. So we need about another 1,000 delta V in this thing to reach lower orbit and then bring it home again. Which we can do. Because we can bump up the fuel in the second stage quite happily on this thing. Because it doesn't matter if it gets tall because it's not going to land anywhere. So we'll put some more fuel in the second stage and we'll send it off to Lua and we'll get that orbit. And then we can get the upgrade and then we can launch the big ship to go and land on Lua. Yeah, we got 28 science out of it. Could have been worse. And Jebby's level 1. And we're starting to get ribbons. Hey! Research first orbital EVA, first Kerbal orbits, first EVA of any kind, first EVA in space, Max 6, first Kerbal in space, and you got the dangerous EVA as well because we got one in the atmosphere on the way back. Because, you know, got to live on the edge a little bit. So, more fuel in the top stage, and then we'll send it up again. I know I said it last week, but trying to fly this system without Delta V maps is much, much more difficult than you think. Come on, zoom in. Thank you. So our only fuel tank at the minute is that one. So if we put another FRT 200 in there. Hang on, what was that before? The 3,500. It's 3,800. I was expecting more than that. I really was. We have a bigger version of that, we have the T400. $4,086 compared to 3,500 we had before. Might get us there. But if we do that, 4,200. That should be enough. Should be enough to get us there. And we are at 36 parts. Alright. I think that'll get us to Lua. At least Lua orbit. Yeah, let's go for it. We know it flies. And if I don't actually end up doing a backflip halfway up, it's going to help as well. Save that. Launch it. I mean, I could put some launch stabilizers on this, but it doesn't seem to be falling over on the pad, so we'll take our chances. You watch it fall over on the pad now. It would be less fun, that is true. And if I start doing things like launch stabilizers, mistakes aren't going to happen. Then what are you going to do? Oh, let's throw that the backflip. True, but you know, it might actually get us to Lua, which is kind of the important thing. Alright, SAS on, engines to full in 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's a slow getting off the pad. Thrust to weight ratio 1.18. Adding extra fuel didn't help the engines much, did it? But it still goes up. We still have decent control. But yeah, that thrust to weight ratio is a bit on the low side. Let's not tip over too fast this time. I mean, that said, that last descent wasn't bad. I got a bit toasty, but it was actually quite a decent ascent profile, if a little shallow. I want to be about halfway tipped over, about 45 degrees tipped by about 10k. That seems to be about right for road. Hey Zeph. Judging. Waiting to press the mistake button. All cats are judgmental, we know that. That's what cats do. They judge you when you feed them, they judge you when you don't feed them. They judge you because the weather outside is rubbish even though you can't do anything about it. Tis the lot of a cat. This thing actually turns pretty well outside the program marker. I'm quite pleased with that. It's still fairly stable. I don't think it's going to flip out. Apo is 17k. There's Lua. That's where we're headed. Science? What science? Crew report. Yes, please. Okay, that stage. Whoa! Burned out a hell of a lot faster than I planned. And this thing is massively, massively unstable now. That is a prograde lock we've got. Whether it will hold or not, I'm not sure. Looks like it will. That said, we still need to tip up. Not that much. Oh, this is going to be a pig, isn't it? I need to have a much higher ascent profile. Hold that, Jeb. Don't tip out. Nope, gone again. Come on. Come on, that reaction wheel, swing it round. I mean, this launch is a bust anyway, now it really is. Do we have any gimbling in this at all? %50 power I don't think is going to help much, Tatty. I think we're basically screwed. So yeah, this thing does not fly well. No, let's not do an EVA report. This thing does not fly well without the bottom stage on it because it hasn't got the fins. We can take a material study for what it's worth. But yeah, we're coming down again. I'll try and bring the whole lot back. Separate parachutes out to a separate stage so we don't end up dropping the bottom stage. And I think we can probably bring all this home again like we did last time. Alright, note to self, steeper ascent profile. And a much better parachute system. Oops. Bye, Jeb. Yeah. Alright. Yes, okay, we get it. Stop going boom. Mistakes have definitely been made. What is that that's left? Alright. Well, you know, stuff happens. I could revert, but you know, you gotta live with your mistakes sometimes. We'll take the hit. And now we send Valentina up. And the other thing is, you know, if I end up losing the odd Kerbal or two, then I just get to recruit you guys instead. So this thing flies alright, providing we get it high enough to start with. Do I want to make any changes to it? Or should we just fly it again and see what happens? Let's just fly it again and see what happens. Loop orbiter 1A with Valentina in the pilot seat. Let's go. Yes. Sorry, Artigod, I think Tatty won that one. And yeah, Val's going to be fine. It's been 100% tested. I also know that if it doesn't go right this time, we give up and eject the rest of the stage and just bring her back on parachutes. I don't think that was 2020 striking. I think that was just Brighton Exile striking again. Alright, here we go. Yeah, it's definitely more up this time and less sideways. Get our Apple apps much nearer 50k before we have to start the second stage this time. But this thing still crawls off the pad. Thrust to weight ratio is not great. But it's up to 1.32 and rising. So. I don't hate Jeb per se, Tatty. It's just he's the most volunteerish. I was going to say expendable, but that would be cruel. Let's blame it on the weather. Blame it on high altitude winds. clearly what the problem was. And you know, rapid unplanned disassembly due to excessive lithic braking. Blame it on the budgie, definitely. Oh, Zeph is judging harder. Oh, we're in trouble now then. Alright, Apo's up to 12. Coming up a lot steeper this time. Try and hold it around about there. Get Apo Apsis well up towards space before we tip over too much further. The bottom stage is still going to burn out quite quick. The Apo is now 40k. Alright, Apo's up to 50. We will make space. Apo is 60k. It's a less efficient ascent, but it's a safer ascent, so yeah, I'm okay with that. Unlike last time, we won't make orbit off the bottom stage. Not even close. But then we're carrying a whole lot more fuel on the top stage, that's to be expected. Crew report from the upper atmosphere? Yep, I'll grab that. I suspect there's more sights from lower down to be done. I'm not taking... Oh no, EVA report, we can do that. We're in space now. Roads, oceans. "47 seconds to Apo. Tip this over. And we're going to have about 1000 Delta V left in the tank, I think. Which hopefully will get us to lunar orbit and back. "20 seconds to Apo. Let's go for burn. Time to Apo is still dropping, so yeah, we're good. This little engine works fine in space. We'll bring our collapses back up towards us. I don't really want to drop down much further. So this little engine doesn't actually have that much grunt. Should have started burning sooner, really. Periapsis is not coming up particularly quick. Come on, Apo, come on back. We're way off prograde now, but at least the Apple Apsis is coming back up. means we might just stay in space because our altitude's getting dangerously close to atmosphere again. And we're burning through a ton of fuel, we need to get to Lua. But at least we're back up to Appalachians, and we are just about going to stay in space, I think. I'm just going to hold it round about Appo. See how much fuel we've got left once we get into orbit. Or make orbit. Just. But yeah, this little engine doesn't have a lot of grunt. Oh, we're almost there now. Okay. Circularize once we get back up to our Apparatus again. And we'll be in space at about 51 kilometers. Just enough to count. But that's all that matters, really. Yeah, sure, I can bring that one up. Absolutely, Tatty. $51.5 or 52. Right, let's get that EVA report now we're safely in orbit. Where's Great Rift? I'm sure someone's done that before, but you know. Let's deploy the bays. It's only a tiny bit bigger, but at least you know what you're looking at. Yeah, that's true. Collect all of those. Right, let's see with the 810 we've got left in the tank if we can get to Lua this time. We can get there, can we get into orbit is the question. Lua burn is going to be about there. No, I don't activate navigation, Kerbal, start off. Maneuver. Optimal burn is going to be that's 583. We're still hitting Lua about there, so we can cut that down a bit more. We only need to just get into orbit. So, the Lua periaps of 544 is 571 meters a second. Should be able to get into orbit for a couple of hundred. Add maneuver here. Retrograde. That's Lua orbit. And that's 65 meters a second. Yeah, we're good. We're good to go. We weren't that far off last time, actually. We needed about 620. We had 500. So I actually wasn't far out with the first ship. If I hadn't flipped it, it might even have worked. It might even have made it. Okay, node in 17 minutes, burn time 1 minute 32. That's what to maneuver. And we should be good to go. 40 seconds to the burn. Four, 3, 2, 1. And we're off. And we're glitching out like crazy. But at least there's plenty of solar power with Destiny and Fate both shining on the panels. No science to be done yet, but that's not surprising given we got everything up here last time. So let's keep going on this burn. Speed up a little bit. Make sure we stay on the maneuver node. There's lure coming over the horizon. And we are just about there. We don't need the last little bit. As long as we're in orbit of lure, it doesn't really matter too much. We might as well finish it off while we can. Perfect. That's not bad, we're about 80 meters off. Although for some reason our lower periaps is still dropping despite the fact we're not burning the engines. It's kind of weird. It's very weird, in fact. Why is our periaps dropping? We're not in atmosphere, are we? No, we're at 70 kilometers. Who knows? Shouldn't be any drag up here. Oh well. Crew report from Space Hiver Road. Absolutely. EVA report? Certainly. Oh, come on. Damn it, Kerbal. I keep forgetting about the bug in... bug in the science thing. If you EVA report when you've got the time warp activated, it eats the Kerbal. Not having that as a mistake, that's just a bug. Revert flight. Sorry guys, I'll do that one again. Because that was definitely KSP just bugging out on me. That was the Kraken. That doesn't count. Not having that. Not having that at all. If I lose Jeb because of my mistakes, that's fair enough. I'm not losing Jeb because of KSP's problems. Admittedly, it's kind of more than mod's problems, because it lets you try and do science while you're in time warp, which you really shouldn't do. But right, engines to full, SAS on. Here we go again. Valentina definitely didn't just get reset through wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff. It's a struggle today, isn't it? This is just getting us to orbit. Still, at least we know to burn for Apo earlier this time. When we're trying to circularize on the little engine. What did you miss, Tatty? You missed the bug with Science Alert, where if you go for any of the air report, it eats the Kerbal. Valentina vanished into thin air. And given it was a bug that screwed us over this time, I decided to revert the flight rather than take the hit. We can actually make lower quite easily. We've got more than enough Delta V to do it. We just got bitten by the Kraken. No, I don't think it counts as a mistake either. I'm not counting bugs as mistakes. Appos 21. Apo's coming up on 50. If I can just hold it below about 60 and burn this stage out, then it'll be absolutely perfect. There we go. You back on prograde. Drop that stage. And then once we hit space, we are good to start burning for circularization. And that stage would deorbit quite happily. And I get you all the sites all over again. Okay, we are 40 seconds from Apo. We are going to burn now and try and hold it there. See if we can make a slightly more efficient circularization burn this time. Time to apoapsis is coming down, but it's coming down at a reasonable rate this time, I think. And if we pitch up slightly, we can hold it a little better. And hopefully make it a lot more efficient.